Coming up on Mountain News at 6, we are learning more from a local health department after dozens of people tested positive for COVID-19 at a federal prison. And it's quickly becoming one of Eastern Kentucky's hardest hit counties. We'll take you to Bell County, where local officials are working to stop the spread.
We'll hang on to a few rain chances for your Friday, but high pressure sets up, bringing us some drier and warmer weather for the weekend. I'll have a look at your forecast right now at 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Wednesday, we learned of positive COVID-19 cases at the federal prison in Manchester. Tonight, we are learning about one additional positive case, bringing the total to 48 people now at the facility, mostly prisoners. WYMT's Will Puckett has more from Clay County.
Health officials say positive cases in a setting like FCI Manchester are difficult to control.
Typically, with other congregate settings that I've been involved with, such as nursing homes, we have a first cluster of positive cases, and then over the course of the next 14 days, we will have more cases arise.
Thursday, Cumberland Valley District Health Department officials confirmed 43 inmates and 5 staff members tested positive for COVID-19.
One of those is hospitalized. There are 5 others with mild symptoms that are being managed at the facility, and the remainder are asymptomatic.
While making sure not to downplay the risk, Public Health Director Christy Green says the risk to the rest of the population is being monitored.
Once they found that positive, they tested that whole unit, and they have that unit quarantined now and separate, so they're not moving among the general population.
And while COVID-19 did breach the walls, health officials say the prison was and is taking all of the steps necessary to make sure it does not freely get in the complex.
I do know that all staff are masked at all times, that inmates are encouraged to mask at all times, and must mask or are required to mask when they move into common areas of the facility. They also have some pretty stringent symptom checks in place.
The next 14 days, however, are critical to stop another cluster. In Clay County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
And we are just learning that earlier reports were incorrect, that none of the guards who tested positive lived in the health department's district. One of the guards is a Clay County resident, and health officials say he is self-isolating. Kentucky's number of coronavirus cases continues to increase. The governor announced 611 new cases today, one of our highest days. The state's total is now 25,147. We also learned 7 more Kentuckians have died, raising the state's death toll to 684. The governor announced 2 of those deaths were in Knox and Whitley counties, and I believe both of those had been reported earlier by the health departments in those areas. The state's positivity rate now sits at 4.94%. Governor Beshear says he is hopeful by next week we'll begin to see the impact from the mandatory mask mandate. Well, Bell County has 8 new positive cases of COVID-19 today and 1 new COVID-19 related death. That one was not announced by the governor yet. We've just learned of that one this afternoon. WYMT's Dakota Makris spoke with county and health officials today about the new cases and explains how it is spreading.
Bell County has 210 cases of COVID-19.
Most of our cases are symptomatic, and they're not all single trace to one event.
Kelly Swanner is a registered nurse at the Bell County Health Department. She says they are seeing more of a community spread with COVID-19.
In the last week, we've seen less travel. We're seeing more families. We're seeing less people going out, I believe.
Bell County Judge Executive Albie Brock says there is not a single cluster the county can tie the cases to.
We're seeing some that the folks, contracted at work from a coworker. We've seen multiple cases where one family member, was positive and then ultimately infected the entire family.
And on Thursday, the health department reported a second COVID-19 related death of a 74-year-old woman.
Wonderful person, absolutely wonderful. I mean, our heart breaks for her family. I knew her personally. She was a very special lady. It's a loss.
Judge Executive Brock says working with the local health department is crucial in helping to slow and identify where the spread is coming from.
It's very important that the person who is contacted by the health department is forthright with them and lets them know who they've been in contact with. And then if you are identified as a direct contact, it's very important that you quarantine.
The health department's message to help slow the spread:
wear your mask, stay 6 feet apart, wash your hands. Wash your hands.
In Bell County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
So far, Bell County has 118 people that have recovered from COVID-19.
Well, we've seen that rain on and off throughout the day today. It's been very soggy at times, but we're starting to see it get out of here, but we'll continue kind of those gloomier conditions this evening. We'll take you up to that UVA WISE camera where you can see that rain that's been moving in over there, and they're still dealing with some heavier showers in that area, but they're starting to move out of there. Looking on top of Buffalo Mountain, maybe the clouds starting to clear a little bit, but definitely still some gloomy skies up there, and we're definitely going to see some patchy dense fog start to build up a little bit later tonight, but you could see some of the heavier showers still pushing out of here. A few heavy showers in parts of Floyd, moving into Pike County, the Charleston area up into West Virginia now getting some heavier showers. And then if you look into parts of Virginia, East Tennessee, starting to see those showers really move out of here. So we've been on the cooler side. 75 right now in Jackson, 77 in Prestonsburg, near 80 back towards London, Williamsburg up to Lexington as they've seen a bigger break in the rain. Lower 70s though, Harlan, Middlesboro, and over into parts of Wise. So tomorrow we'll start to dry out. We'll hang on to a few chances here and there. But by the weekend, we'll start to see more sunshine both days with pretty hot conditions. Stray storms are also possible both days. I'll have more details on that coming up in a little bit.
All right, Paige, thank you. Those who travel on the westbound lanes of the Mountain Parkway near the Wolf and Powell County line will have to take a detour. Yesterday, the road closed indefinitely, again, just the westbound lanes after a sinkhole developed near mile marker 36 in Powell County. WYMT's Emily Bennett is live at the site of that sinkhole now for us. Emily?
Steve, if you are traveling eastbound on the Mountain Parkway, well, you're in good shape. But if you're traveling westbound, you will be detoured onto Kentucky 15 at exit 40 in Wolf County. Now, yesterday, the Department of Highways closed the westbound lane of the Parkway from exit 40 to exit 33 after a sinkhole developed. Engineers are still trying to find the cause of the sinkhole and a long-term repair solution. As of now, they do not know how long that will take. Highway officials are encouraging truckers traveling long distances to detour to the Hal Rogers Parkway instead of taking the Kentucky 15 detour, as the road is narrow and very windy.
Beneath the roadbed had eroded, and those concrete slabs that had been taped over the years, those concrete slabs were basically serving as a bridge across the sinkhole that had developed.
Officials with the Department of Highways District 10 will be posting updates on Facebook and Twitter. They hope to have an update of how long this road will be closed soon. Steve?
All right, certainly affects a lot of folks that travel to Lexington and beyond. Thank you very much, Emily. It's also important to note the southbound lane of Kentucky 15 has been closed going up Slade Hill. Those drivers can use the eastbound lanes of the Parkway. A police chase that started in Tennessee ended up stopping at the doors to a local jail. According to a release from the Whitley County Sheriff's Office, it started Wednesday morning in Knoxville. Police say this man, 33-year-old Scotty Inman, was pursued in a stolen car across the Kentucky state line. When local police picked up the chase, they were able to disable the car with spike strips. Inman stopped the car outside of the Whitley County Detention Center, where police were able to take him into custody. Another coal company has declared bankruptcy. Rhino Resource Partners, one of the companies that purchased assets from bankrupt coal operator Black Jewel last year, made that announcement yesterday. In court documents, company officials say they have around 547 employees at coal operations in several states, including Kentucky, Virginia, and West Virginia. The Kentucky State Fair is still on for 2020, but that leaves a lot of work trying to safely plan the massive event during this pandemic. Today, the Kentucky State Fair Board met via Zoom to discuss their developing plans. Blake Henry, the general manager of the Kentucky International Convention Center, says this year won't offer as much, but beyond that, looks a lot better.
We lost an incredible amount of business for 2020, there's no doubt. However, we managed to keep the majority of the business still in our pipeline and reschedule these events for 2021 and beyond. We're leveraging our relationships, applying deposits, adjusting contract terms, expanding space, and working to get an event approval from Frankfurt for the few events that we have remaining for 2020.
The fair is less than 1 month away now. It will run from August 20th until August 30th. There will be reduced capacities at most events will be outside with social distancing measures in place. Bell County students are set to start back to school next month. The school district is giving students and parents the option to choose between in-person or distance learning offered through a virtual platform, both offered Monday through Friday. The school district posted a registration form online for parents to fill out and complete by Friday, July 30th.
That'd give us a good amount of time to be able to plan for the number of kids we're going to have. We don't, it's very difficult to plan when you don't know how many students are going to be in the building and how many will choose to use the virtual learning. We're going to make every effort to make certain that we make contact with those parents and find out what their option is going to be.
Bell County Schools plan to begin classes on August 25th. We will have a link to the registration form on our website, WYMT.com.
And we'll start to dry out heading into your Friday. More sunshine and hot temperatures return this weekend. I'll have a look at that forecast coming up.
And as a rough year continues for first responders across the country, one local teenager is stepping up to show them support.